From the WKYC studios, this is What's Next.
Good evening. Glad you're here with us tonight. I'm Lena Lai, joining you from my home. Let's get right to the latest coronavirus headlines. And as Ohio and the city of Cleveland reopen, there are new coronavirus cases to report tonight. The Cleveland Health Department says there are 25 new cases of the virus in the city with no new deaths. This brings a total to more than 1,100 infections in Cleveland. In Sandusky tonight, 8 residents at the Ohio Department of Veterans Services nursing home have tested positive for the virus. The residents have been moved to a special care section away from others. The Sandusky home is a large nursing home facility that's been caring for veterans for more than 100 years. And a French company has designed a disinfection tunnel that ensures shoppers and grocery carts are well disinfected. It sprays a mist of disinfectant solution for a few seconds onto people and their cars. The chemicals, well, they're said to be safe. Tonight, questions and concerns about what looks like a lack of social distancing on newly reopened restaurant patios. I mean, take a look at these. Some jammed packed with people not wearing masks. As Andrew Horansky shows us, on the first night of nice weather, some were not following the rules.
This was the scene in Columbus last night, where a popular bar prompted a visit by police and a warning from public health. In Cincinnati, pictures such as this one made the rounds on social media, showing people not social distancing. All of it this afternoon prompting Governor DeWine to issue a warning, accusing establishments of being, quote, irresponsible, saying guidelines will be enforced. He did not name names. While this weekend, it appears the bigger the crowd, the smaller the social distancing. Our cameras capturing this in Ohio City. And this in the Flats, where people simply did not have the room to fan out. Ohio did not put a cap on crowds, allowing a potentially dangerous mix to emerge of businesses trying to get out of the red and patrons ready for normalcy, not wary of the consequences.
Not too much of a distance because it's a patio, but I mean, we all knew that a patio was going to be pretty packed. It's kind of naive to think that it was going to be a safe distance.
Yet at most places, there was. Some business owners stressing it's a good thing there weren't too many rules.
I think that maybe that was done purposefully so that we would kind of use our own skills and talents and facilities and figure it out what works best for ourselves. I mean, if it was very black and white, that might not work for everybody. And so I think people are just kind of adjusting.
At Grand River Cellars in Madison today, they opened their patio too, with half the tables, staff in masks and gloves. Realizing even if you do everything right, a lot still hinges on your customers to behave. People like Quinn Marty, who chartered a ride eager, like everyone else, to get out with friends and family again.
Once they open things up, you got to enjoy it. Being with people, you know, brings you an energy. You know, we talk about social distancing, which is great, but being social is even better. You know, you need that.
Tonight, the Ohio Restaurant Association weighed in, saying the vast majority of bars and restaurants exceeded what was required of them, adding that guests who are eating and drinking should be seated and that areas where people congregate should be closed. So far, we have heard of no enforcement in our area. If we do, we'll let you know. Reporting in downtown Cleveland tonight, I'm Andrew Horansky, 3 News.
All right, thanks, Drew. Former President Barack Obama is speaking out on the coronavirus pandemic. During a virtual commencement address, the former president offered his most public and direct criticism yet of the White House handling of the national emergency.
It's also pulled the curtain back on another hard truth, something that we all have to eventually accept once our childhood comes to an end. You know, all those adults that you used to think were in charge and knew what they were doing, turns out they don't have all the answers. A lot of them aren't even asking the right questions. So if the world's going to get better, it's going to be up to you.
Obama also gave a virtual commencement address to graduating high school seniors across the country earlier tonight during a televised event hosted by NBA star LeBron James. Well, this is just heartbreaking. An Ohio dad went to Washington, D.C. to work as a nurse treating COVID-19. He is now battling the disease himself and is on a ventilator. Michael Rhodes is 46, a small business owner and a part-time nurse. He left Columbus last month to support his family when the shutdown order closed his business. He knew hospitals in D.C. needed help. Rhodes tested positive 2 weeks ago. His condition got worse. The last time his fiancée talked to him, doctors were putting him on a ventilator.
He said he's doing everything we asked him to do. It's not working. His oxygen level is extremely low. We got to do this right now. And he put the phone to Michael, and all I had time to say was, I love you and fight. And he said, I promise I will. That was it.
He and his fiancée have 3 young children. The family set up a GoFundMe for medical bills. We have a link to it at WKYC.com. Could we be closer to another round of stimulus checks? The House voted to pass the HEROES Act yesterday, but President Trump declared that it would be dead on arrival. The $3 trillion relief package could pay Americans $1,200 per person. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she's thrilled with the vote, but the bill narrowly passed the House. It moves on to the Senate. The pandemic has apparently given the boating industry a boost. Boat sales are up in Ohio and all around the country. All types of boats are selling out, from sailboats to fishing boats to jet boats. Fishing supply companies have also seen a jump in equipment sales this spring. Just ahead tonight at 11, the aftermath of flooding. The high water is gone, but boy, is there a mess left behind. And Matt, we have some more rain in store too.
Yeah, Lena, we absolutely do. After a rainy day yesterday, we got to dry out a little bit today, but there's a brand new tropical storm off the coast of Florida. How is that going to play spoiler to our week ahead? I'll explain coming up.
What's Next is sponsored by the Calvetta Brothers Floor Show. It's time to fall in love again with your home.
Fred Willard, the comedic actor whose improv style kept him relevant for more than 50 years, has died. He was a Shaker Heights native, and he played many roles over the years and was best known for the movies Best in Show and A Mighty Wind. Willard was 86 years old. And Phyllis George, the former Miss America who became a female sportscasting pioneer on CBS's The NFL Today and served as the First Lady of Kentucky, has also died. George passed away Thursday at a Lexington, Kentucky hospital after a long fight with a blood disorder. She was 70 years old. Developing tonight, speakers at a rally for Ahmaud Arbery say justice for the black man killed during a pursuit by a white man and his son with shotguns in Georgia isn't just prison time for the killers. They're calling for changes to a justice system that didn't charge the suspects with a crime for 2 months. Arbery was killed back in February because the 2 men say they thought he was responsible for recent break-ins in the neighborhood. And here at home, a rally to remember a Cleveland man shot and killed by an off-duty Cleveland police officer. 24-year-old Desmond Franklin was remembered today in a Carpool for Justice rally along Pearl Road in Cleveland. Franklin was shot and killed near West 25th and Pearl back in April when the officer opened fire on a car that Franklin was in. The officer was not hurt. An investigation into the shooting is ongoing. The family has launched its own independent investigation into what happened. A look at the aftermath of major flash flooding in Parma tonight. Brook Park and Tiedemann at the Walmart and Sam's Club parking lots were underwater during the storms last night. Crews were out cleaning up the parking lot at Sam's for hours today. And this was the scene back in April of 2017 in the same area when floodwaters left a mess of sludge on Brook Park Road and left the Sam's Club there having to clean up for days. Culverts built with concrete that can't handle the high water during heavy rain have been to blame for some of the flash flooding over the years. Well, with warmer weather, it is motorcycle season, and the Ohio State Highway Patrol says they are taking part in a special safety campaign. May is Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. Troopers are reminding motorcycle riders to be sober and to be aware of other vehicles on the road. Last year, there were more than 3,500 traffic crashes in Ohio involving motorcycles. Up next, it wasn't easy, that's for sure. What a local teacher did for all of her students. Stay with us. While most of the sports world is on pause during the coronavirus pandemic, the game of cornhole must go on. Airing live on ESPN today, it was the Cornhole National Championships, and the network's planning even more live cornhole events coming up later this summer. And it's actually a sport that's pretty easy to play with a mask on. Today would have been the running of the 44th Cleveland Marathon, but the race is now virtual because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And if you're not familiar with a virtual race, it just means participants can run the race wherever, whenever. They just need to log their 26.2-mile journey. And well, we've seen this before, but it just keeps getting better every time. A local kindergarten teacher ran a full marathon this morning past each of her students' homes. Bridget Lyons of St. Raphael was supposed to run her 10th marathon in Cleveland this year, but well, with the race canceled, she made her own route past every single one of her students. She says she misses them so much.
When I realized it was possible to run to all of their houses and get all my students involved, I haven't seen them in about 55, 60 days, so I miss them. And now almost around every corner and every turn, there's gonna be either a student, a friend, a staff member, just a family member, someone's gonna be there, and I'm just really excited to see everybody.
I love it. Bridget says although she's run many races, this will for sure be her most memorable. Way to go, Bridget. And hey, let's give a senior shout out to Emily Falbo tonight. Emily is a senior at Olmsted Falls High School, where she developed a love for art. She's headed to the University of Akron in the fall, and you can send us your senior shout outs to wkyc.com/senior shout outs. Well, a quiet night tonight, but yeah, we've been talking about more rain on the way. Meteorologist Matt Wentz now back live from his home. What's up, Matt?
Well, not a whole lot, Lita. The kids are sleeping. They got worn out outside today, which I'm sure many area kids that participated with. Did you get to spend a little bit of time outside, Lena?
I did. It was a great day for a walk.
Yeah, it definitely was. A good night for a walk and a good night for a bonfire as well. Take a look at the time lapse today. That sunset has just been stellar over the last couple of nights, outside of the rain that we had a couple nights ago, but just a beautiful night to head on out. Some of those high clouds drifting in from time to time. And we're going to see some more rain move in off of some of those high clouds here as we go over the next 24 hours. But Lake Erie providing a beautiful shot there. Temperatures tonight, we're on the chillier side. Tomorrow night is going to be much, much different. We're actually bring some humidity in here. Temperature's going to feel very summer-like. So open up the windows tonight, enjoy it. We're in the 50s Lakeshore counties, a little bit warmer down to the south where we had a warmer day. In fact, we made it into the upper 70s from Mansfield, mid 70s down in Akron, low 70s off towards the north. But you can see that wind out of the northeast. Whenever you have a northeast wind, it tends to pile up that water on the western basin of Lake Michigan. So we do have lakeshore flood warnings for areas near Sandusky, back towards Toledo, those typical areas that have the beach erosion, certainly seeing that. This is the first time I've shown this all spring, the dew points. This measures how humid that air feels. We've got a very dry air mass in place. Dew points in the 40s and 50s. You can barely even feel the air. But look what's just down to our south. We've got dew points in the mid, even upper 60s, as close as Cincinnati and Louisville, Kentucky. That warm and humid air is heading our way. So you are going to notice an uptick in that amount of moisture in the atmosphere. If you're going out for a run or jog the next couple days, you're going to be sweating for sure. A byproduct of that, showers and thunderstorms now heading our direction again after sagging south, bringing in some of that briefly dry air. You can see kind of a complicated system, a low pressure in Minnesota, another one down towards Texas. And yeah, off the East Coast, this is your brand new tropical storm, first of the season, just off the coast of Florida. Meet Arthur, everybody. This thing is going to really impact our weather because as Arthur heads off to the north and the east, it puts a block on the entire weather system west of it. So the system that we have right now, earlier this week, it looked like it was going to pass through with some thunderstorms and then we would heat up. Well, because of Arthur's going to head off to the north, and the system that's moving in with all the rain and storms is going to sit. And I'm talking sit for several days and just meander around the Ohio Valley. So those 85-degree temperatures we thought earlier in the week, well, those have been put on hold for now thanks to that tropical storm. So this is what it looks like hour by hour with your National Design Mart forecast. Clouds increase tonight. Tomorrow, I really don't think it's going to be all that bad. I think we get around to some morning showers and thunderstorms. Then we heat up. Look at us into the 80s as you get down towards the south, a little bit cooler lakeside. Couple showers and thunderstorms popping into heat of that afternoon, though. You can't rule that out, but I don't think they'll be too widespread. Monday, more of the same. We'll see passing showers and thunderstorms, some dry hours in between, and then we get that main funnel of moisture with the low pushing in late. But another warm day on Monday until on Tuesday we get on the backside of the system. You can see how both systems kind of interact here. Arthur goes first, and then this next one's allowed to go, but you can see how the rain just sits in the Ohio Valley, perhaps drifting down to the south. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, my goodness, Arthur is to blame for that. So not a popular name, and that could lead to some more rainfall. That's my biggest concern, is we do not need the rainfall, and depending on where these storms line up, we certainly could get it. Here's your Universal Windows Direct 10-day forecast. I've got us near 80 tomorrow, 76 on Monday. The rain staying in the forecast through Thursday. I do have us drying out late week, though, Lena, and temperatures finally getting back up to 80 again. But again, it's going to be more humid around here 24 hours from now, and it's going to feel more like summer.
Yeah, we're not liking Arthur. He's a little early, too, I would say, for the season. Thanks so much, Matt.
June 1st is when hurricane system, yep, for sure.
Yep, thanks so much. Nick is up next from the Camino Kitchen. Stay with us.
This sports report is sponsored by the people-pleasing people at Serra Auto Park in Akron.
Another Saturday evening here from the Camino Kitchen, and good news for sports fans. Yes, it's been a slow couple of months, but it won't be that way much longer. Across the globe, sports are returning, and here in the States, steps are being taken to make sure the games we love are making a comeback, especially with Major League Baseball. This is where it starts. Negotiations are still ongoing between the owners and the Players Association on a return-to-play proposal. The two holdups right now, though, are money and player safety. On top of that, check this out. MLB sent the union a draft of the 2020 operations manual, which calls for upwards of 10,000 coronavirus tests per week, on top of urging players no high fives, no fist bumps, no spitting, no sunflower seeds, and no chewing tobacco. Wow. Staying with MLB, they are going to go ahead with their amateur draft. They're going to do this remotely, similar to what we saw with the NFL. For MLB, it'll be 5 rounds over 2 days, June 10th and June 11th. Okay, so we've talked a lot about baseball. We've talked about the NFL, even college football. But what about the NBA? Are they going to be able to continue their season? It really seems like no one's talking about them right now. This was interesting, though. Chris Paul, 10-time All-Star. He's the president of the Players Association. He said recently the players want to play bad. Paul said that the consensus around the league from all the players is that they want to play, they want to finish the season. And hey, this was great to hear. You saw the announcement earlier tonight here on NBC. The Preakness Stakes will be run after all this year. The middle jewel of racing's Triple Crown will be run on Saturday, October 3rd. That is 1 month after the rescheduled Kentucky Derby. And Lena, tomorrow, we've got a NASCAR race. So as I said, I mean, sports slowly coming back here. We'll see how things go, but all of it without fans early on, obviously.
Sure, and no spitting, no sunflower seeds, no chew. I mean, come on. What kind of world are we living in?
I know, I've covered baseball for 12 years. The no chew and the no tobacco is going to be a tough one for these guys.
Thanks so much, Nick. Thank you for watching tonight. SNL is next. Have a great night.